Okay, 16th July and my allotment again. So we're looking from the back, and the chrysanths I've put in there are ones that are, not sure if I actually got a sensible set. They're all late autumn flowering, and the instructions say you need to put them in a greenhouse when they're going to flower in something like November. So we'll see how they do. At least they're alive and growing vigorously at the moment. The asparagus is growing nicely. Put up a few more shoots, and hopefully it'll build up its strength, so I might be able to eat something next year and definitely the year after. Sweet corn's still doing well. There's some male flowers just appearing. Let's have a look at one of them. Just starting to appear, but clearly a long way to go. And you can see over there the strawberries. I've put some stones on some runners so that I increase the number of plants for next year. And I've tied up the Jerusalem artichokes so they don't flop down on the onions on the next door allotment. And the runner beans flowering vigorously now, but the flowers aren't setting, or well, they may be setting, but the beans are so small it's not worth thinking about cutting them yet. Okay, moving on. Here's the potatoes. The pink fir apple is growing vigorously and looks okay. The salad blue looks like some of it's getting blight, so I might dig up this end and see what's there. Cauliflowers are growing nicely from the most pathetic start, and the kale's doing well. And the pods, enormous numbers. Clearly grown an excessive number of plants. Need to have not quite spinning next year, and maybe cut back on some of the plants now actually, so that the cauliflower cabbages that are down there, the sweetheart cabbages down there, have some space to grow in. And there's also, you can see some lettuce down there, which, at least because the sun's moving around from the west, at least they get some sunshine, but clearly a lot of competition from these rat's tail radishes. Right, let's move on. So the onions, got some really big onions growing, which is, so look at the size of those ones. Let's see if we can get, yeah, really big onion forming down there. And here's another really big one. Some smaller ones in there as well, thank goodness, so I get a bit of a variety of sizes. And the shallots are getting near harvesting. Still haven't seen shallots in supermarkets, but if I want one now, I'll be able to pick my own, I should think, rather than have to rely on the vagaries of supermarkets. The sweet peas are totally glorious. Another load of plants. I haven't been here for about, I was here 4 days ago, and a lot of flowers come out on the sweet peas, which is lovely. And gosh, the smell, you can't feel the smell, but the smell is amazing. Nice variety of colours. Could do with a bit more of the red ones, I think, particularly dark red. There's only one of that, and it's really quite spectacular. The beetroot haven't done very well so far. I've eaten the one that was a decent size, and the others are really, well, it was golf ball sized. The others haven't grown up yet into anything worth eating. This is the perpetual spinach, which would be good. Something else is eating the leaves as well, but at least it's there. And you can see the rat's tail radish from this side. Enormous numbers of the things. Right, so let's go back down this way. So this is where there were 3 rows of broad beans, and what I've planted are leeks, 2 rows of leeks. Really rather spindly little things, but at least they have some opportunity to grow. This bit of space here has got some beetroot and parsley in it, and you can see that the courgettes are growing into young marrows, so going to be quite a lot of harvesting of courgettes, and also the summer squashes. I'll show them to you in a moment. In here I've got some I'm not quite I can't quite remember what those are. There's clearly some sort of cabbagey thing. They might actually be cabbages in there. I planted Swedes and purple sprouting and cabbages and a bit more kale, but the plants all grew fantastically spindly for some reason that I don't fully understand, and then slugs came in and ate a lot of them, so I abandoned most of them, and I'm having a second go with some Swedes and some purple sprouting. And what's under there will be what I managed to salvage from the earlier planting. Got these tomatoes that I was given that are growing moderately. Well, there's 3 that are growing decently and others that are staggering along. This is the celeriac, really quite nice looking plants, and got a long way to grow, and you can see the tomatoes there. This is the honey nut squash, and it's hairing fortunately sort of in my direction, and there's some flower buds forming up, you can see there, but clearly it's a lot later fortunately than other things, and the squashes should keep, which would be good. Here though we have more summer squashes. I think I made a bit of a mistake growing these actually, because they're essentially very similar to courgettes, so I'm going to be picking them as well. Right. So we've got the flowers here, got the lovely, gorgeously scented, growing well, and Sweet William, don't know if it'll last another year, like with the rustic dwarfs. Don't know if they'll go for another year as well, but the rustic dwarfs doing very nicely at the moment. I've discovered that this plant here, it got a common name of Russian mint. I don't quite know how minty it is, but it's really quite an elegant plant. Quite sure how good it is for cutting, but it's certainly very nice to look at. And the goldenrod has grown a lot since last year, and when the sun was out it was covered in bees, who obviously aren't quite so interested at the moment. It's not chilly, I mean it's t-shirt weather provided you keep on the move. So this is some sort of helenium. Let's see if I can see what it says it is. Helenium Meranti. Supposed to flower from July to October. Well, that's what it's doing. Good. Doing what it's supposed to do. Excellent. So there's supposed to be 6 irises here. As you can see, there's only 2. The others, one of them did actually put up a bit of a shoot, then died. The others show no signs of that. Got some. The problem with the dahlias is the ants have put lots of black aphids on them, and despite activity by a ladybird, neither I nor the ladybirds can keep up with the quantity, so they're not doing too well. So we'll start looking good in a bit. That's the second flower out. These are some more dahlias grown from seed, as opposed to bought as young plants. So these are some more flower plants. Oh look, that's got flowers coming on it now. These are cornflower for next year, and some larkspur, and forgotten. Oh, Sweet William. Sweet William there, still alive. Yellow, good. Not good. Squash, still okay. This compost heap has settled down a lot. I took some out, but it's collapsed down since. So when I have a bit of space, like when the potatoes have gone, I can move the compost out and then consolidate the 2 heaps into that one, and maybe put a bit more insulation in so that it decays a bit faster. The bags of leaves are still there, still hopefully decomposing nicely. Okay, let's have a quick look over here. So we've got another butternut squash going. Yeah, that's got some nice big yellow squashes on it. These tomatoes still alive and still growing. Gosh, I tied that up 4 days ago. I'm sure it's grown a lot since. Okay, how are the cucumbers doing? So this one over here, which isn't going so vigorously, it's starting to have some little cucumbers. This one here, how's this one doing? Okay, so it's got more little cucumbers, gherkins growing, which is excellent. So this compost heap, it's collapsing as well, which is great. It's had all the remains of the run of beans in it, and once I can get a bit of space, I can consolidate the whole thing and pack it in. Okay, let's have a look up here. So we had a look at this before, just seeing this from a different angle now. More large courgettes. Got to keep on top of the meadowsweet's seeds because I don't want the place awash with meadowsweet. The vines are growing okay. Oh my goodness, look at those. Flipping heck. Wow. Not quite sure what I need to do with them apart from pick. Whoa. The French beans. Oh, there's some pods on the French beans over there. You can see on the far one some pods. Let's go and have a look at that. See if I've got a few worth eating to go with dinner. Here's the larger size sweet corn, and it's growing up okay. And the Jerusalem artichokes, well, I'm not mentioning the rhubarb because it's very obvious and it's very huge. The Jerusalem artichokes still going strong, and now not flopping over because of the stakes and string I've put up, which is good. Right, okay, so that's the allotment currently.